Hi, here we are at LCS, back to school, kind of in the park day. My name is Darien McClurg, and with me?
Reid. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, it's gorgeous outside. There are all kinds of activities. Kind of if you look behind us, you will get a chance, if you come out today, meet principals, administrators.
Teachers, kids.
There's all kinds of activities. We got everything from cornhole to face painting going on. And really, as school approaches, it's really probably parents' favorite time of year as school comes around the corner.
I would say so. I think as parents, you and I can agree to that.
Yes, my kids, both graduates of EC Glass, and certainly, but you have young ones that are still here.
I do. Well, we're getting ready to get started here, so it's good times.
Yeah, it should be an interesting day. You're going to meet a lot of exciting guests. It should be a lot of fun. It's always fun as the school year starts and getting a chance to see all the faces again.
Yeah, absolutely. And the new faces, too. Lots of people who are joining the system and, they're excited about becoming, whether it's teachers or principals or what have you. And I think that you can feel that excitement today.
And I think that's a big thing. When you come back to school, you want your kids to be excited about it. And I think getting a chance to come out to an event like this and meeting teachers and meeting administrators, so that first day when that kindergartner walks in, it's not a surprise. They see a familiar face.
Right, absolutely. And that's probably true for high schoolers as well, right? We want them to they want to walk into a classroom with someone who's excited to be there and likes to have them there and wants them there. And I think we feel that too.
And especially, I think, after the last couple of days where we've all been hunkering down for what appeared to be a biblical proportions rainstorm.
Literally.
And now you've got to take advantage of a gorgeous day like this.
Absolutely.
So we have a guest coming up, I believe.
I think that's right.
Here we are.
Now, folks, you might not know the face, but you will certainly know the voice.
Indeed.
Hello.
If you have not, it's not really that time of year, but that is that face, that voice that calls you on those wonderful inclement weather days, which might be my favorite voice of the winter season.
If you close your eyes and listen, you'll hear it. You'll hear it right away.
And we're going to get a chance to see Cindy Babb get her face painted today.
Right here.
Just one of the activities that we have going on out here, and she has graciously agreed, as we have Miss Anderson here from Sandusky Middle School, who's going to come and paint a little bit and I think try to bring out Cindy's inner spiritual animal.
I think so, too. I'm not even sure what that is.
I know what mine is.
Really?
Mine is the... Well, it was the polar bear, and then I kind of went with the panda bear because I learned that panda bears eat something like 60 times a day, which really...
Okay. All right.
I am curious to see what Cindy's
that turns
spiritual
into.
animal is, though.
I've had students tell me that mine is a manatee. I don't think that's meant nicely, but that's okay.
They die a lot in speedboat accidents, don't they?
But they eat a lot of lettuce, too, interestingly enough.
Well, and
I'm not sure if that's a
you
comment.
are from Florida originally, home
there
of
you
the
go.
manatee, so that
There you
does
go.
kind of make sense. So, Miss, what are we doing to her face over there?
We're giving Cindy a heart.
A heart.
Nice.
Aww.
Because I just
So
love
this is like
everything.
Wizard of Oz.
It is like the Wizard of Oz.
It's a colorful heart with sparkles around it.
Now, Miss Anderson, what do you do at Sandusky Middle School?
I am the main office secretary at Sandusky Middle School.
So you're literally
Very
in charge of the
important.
entire
Literally.
building.
Well, it's a team effort.
Well,
It's teamwork. Teamwork makes the dream work.
there we go. We probably know they are too busy to listen right now, but we know the secretaries really are in charge of the buildings, not so much the administration of the building. Is that true?
Teamwork makes the dream work. It's a team effort.
Right.
That is good to toe the company line on that one. So, wait, can we turn the face to see the heart a little bit? Because
Yes,
Aaron and I
yes.
do not get to see, and Aaron and I have such little hearts.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, look, it's got
All right.
glitter.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can't do a heart without glitter.
And you
That's
can't go
right.
wrong without glitter.
That's for sure. Looks good, Cindy.
Nice.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited. I hope other people will come out today too and get their face painted. You can look like me or
like
however
fun.
you want.
Yes,
yeah,
looks good,
we're having a
looks
good
good.
time.
So I'm curious, Cindy, if we had been in school this last week, is there a separate warning for flood watches rather than snow?
Is there a script for that?
I'm sure there's an
gotta be a
intensive
script
There's
for
got to
that.
be a
There's gotta be
script for
something.
that.
You know, there's a script for everything. We are well ahead of the game on every single thing, so we're ready for whatever it is. So just, keep your phone numbers updated so that we can make sure that we call you at your phone number and not your old phone number, because we don't want you coming to school if we don't have school.
No, and I do think that's one of the great things about Lynchburg City Schools is, EC Glass is a shelter and
Right.
has been for this
Right,
past
last couple of
week.
days.
And that's just one of the cool things. Like, both Aaron and I are graduates of EC Glass and grew up in this community. And that idea that, the school is so closely linked to the community still, which I think is a great example of how the school system works if the community works with it.
Right.
Which goes back to the one team, one dream, I think, one we had over there.
That's right. That's right.
So what else are we going to do besides a heart?
Well, she has like a line going in between the heart with the sparkle. She got the heart in the middle. We just got some lines going around, just kind of.
So what is her color for this
her color
season?
is gold.
Gold is the color.
She has some green in it. She has some yellow in it.
It's just awesome. And
It's
I
like
know
a rainbow.
Miss Anderson's
Rainbow
got to
colors.
get back over there to the table because we
Yes.
got a long line of other people wanting their faces painted. So thanks, Miss Anderson, and I appreciate it. And
Nice.
we're going to catch you guys later, and stay tuned.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thanks for
Bye.
coming.
Bye-bye.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Yep. All right, and we're back. Aaron Reid, Darien McClurg, and we are talking here with City Councilman Beau Wright. Beau, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. It's great.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit. It's funny, the three of us are all actually graduates of EC Glass.
Right.
For the sake of my longevity, I will not mention when I graduated. You all graduated after me.
Indeed.
Yeah,
Just
true.
a little bit.
And we were talking to Beau a little bit. Beau, what brought you back?
So I left and I went away to college, and then I went to D.C. for a while. But there's something special about Lynchburg. My family lives here. My parents live here. None of my siblings do, but we're working on them. But I love our community. I think it's a really special place to be.
And you're pretty young to be in the position you're in.
Yeah. Yeah.
No pressure whatsoever,
know,
Beau, as you
I know. I mean,
represent the growing number of young people in the city of Lynchburg.
But hopefully that gives me like some credit. Like people give me like a little extra runway. It's like, oh, well, he's young. He doesn't know yet. So if I make some mistakes, hopefully people will be generous with me. But yeah, I'm excited, and I think it's important to have young people represented in city leadership. I do think that's important.
No, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking to that a little bit, we have obviously seniors here. We take government. Sometimes we teach government.
Yeah.
What might you say to some of our 12th graders who are getting ready to be, citizens in terms of what they might be able to offer, or maybe some of your own perspective?
Well, so I graduated from EC Glass, and it was a civics education that I actually got at Dunbar with Jan Suddeth, who really taught me, she taught us the preamble to the Constitution. She really taught me about civics and how to be a good citizen. And then Marie Waller here inspired me to really sort of think, and Miss Sanders really inspired me to think about government as a career choice. And then I went off to D.C. and then worked at the White House. And I always felt like, well, like little old Beau from Lynchburg.
Right.
And I guess if I would say anything, it's that it really is. It sounds so easy to say, but it really is possible to go from Lynchburg and go anywhere and do anything and accomplish anything that you want. And that the schools here, I think, actually prepared me really well for that experience.
And I think we hear that from our graduates over and over again. We were talking about, your experience at William & Mary, and our students who have graduated here recently, gone to William & Mary and gone on to places, Princeton, and students who have gone into MIT and places. And so this idea that just because you graduated from Lynchburg doesn't mean you can't, sky's the limit sort of stuff.
Absolutely, and
That's
even
exciting.
then, that college isn't necessarily indicative of.
Absolutely.
You can always grow. You can always achieve.
Right.
No matter your circumstance.
Right.
Now, let me ask this: I think everybody has kind of an interest as they get into politics or public service. What's your passion? As you come back to Lynchburg, what's an area that you want to focus on?
Well, education, I think, is huge. Right. Poverty. Lynchburg has a poverty rate that I don't think we should be proud of. I think we have a lot of work to do on poverty, and our economy. But I think these things are all intertwined. You can't have a robust economy with 24.6% poverty. You can't have great schools when so many kids attending those schools are living in poverty. So I think I have three three passions, which might be a little more serious of an answer than you wanted.
Right.
But I think we have some challenges, but we also have a lot of opportunity because we're growing. And we are seeing that a lot of businesses are choosing to come here and stay here. We have folks moving into the city. We're one of the few cities to grow, like us, at the last census. So we have a lot of opportunity. And I think Lynchburg's a great petri dish for us to expand and be innovative and think about new ways to do things.
What do you think the community's role is of that? I mean, we're educators,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and you're
yeah.
in government now, and
Yeah.
you know it only works if the community works together. Where do you see the community of Lynchburg, I guess, maybe some of their strengths that are going to contribute to that growth?
I mean, I think we have, we were talking about civics, right? I think we have an incredible group of engaged citizens, people who really care. I think the depth of our civic engagement runs really deep, and it has since our founding, right? That's just part of our ethos. That folks, we have a huge spirit of volunteerism and engagement. And so I think that if anything, we're going to be successful because people care about our city. They care about its direction. And it's going to take all of us. We can't afford to be complacent. And the good news is I don't think we are.
No, we're excited that you're back and
Yep,
becoming
absolutely.
back
Thanks, team.
a part of it all. And I know that as we need to wrap up here a little bit, I'm sure that you will make it to the face painting section of the community.
Look, team,
It does seem to be important.
I think that's just part of giving back.
is that right?
Yes.
What should I get on my face?
Go for spirit animal. That's really what we're
Yeah.
emphasizing
Well,
today,
and
to find your
I think
inner
they'll help
spirit
you
animal.
find it.
Can I ask what your spirit animal is?
Well, we were talking about that earlier, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, and I'll just leave with mine is the panda bear because it spends most of its time sleeping, which I enjoy.
Do you do that a lot?
Yeah, summer a little bit.
Yeah, and you?
Mostly. I've been told by my students, because I'm originally from Florida before I came here, that my spirit animal is a manatee.
Aw.
But on that note,
good.
we
Oh,
are going to
that's
head
really
off.
nice.
Beau,
Wrap it
it's
up.
great to have
All right,
you
Beau.
here.
Thank you
and
so much.
Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
And we're back. Now we have some selections being played for us by the Heritage High School Orchestra. Little culture here on this Saturday afternoon.
Okay, we're back with Back to School today with LCS Live on Facebook, and glad you're joining us. If you were just paying attention a minute ago, you got to hear an amazing selection of orchestra students from Heritage High School.
Very good.
And if you really were careful with it, you could pick up the Disney song, I think it was, that they were playing. We were singing along a little bit, but we've got some new guests. I was singing along, and we were told we can't do the Cup song, which is disappointing to say the least. But we have some guests with us now, some brand new people. Aaron, who do we have?
We got a couple of teachers here from Bass Elementary School, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves.
My name is Casey Stanley. I teach 3rd grade.
My name is Cynthia Gray, and I'm the school nurse.
We actually have them back because I looked at my transcript and I did not graduate from 3rd grade. So this actually will be kind of an online study period
This
here.
is good for you. This is good for you.
No, we're pretty excited. Now, you all have already been in school for a bit now. How long?
Yes, since July the 18th. Our students returned back to Bass. Since we are all year round school for Lynchburg City Schools, the only school right now that is all year round. Kids were excited to return. Shorter summer, but they didn't lose as much. So they was back to get back in the routine, had a little break. Now they're ready to go back at it as well as staff. So we're excited, ready to get the year off to a great start.
Things are going great so far. So
What kinds of things do you guys do to start off the year? Like, so during that first week, are there things in the school that are, that are kind of geared to helping the kids get excited about their upcoming year?
yeah, we focus a lot on community building in the first few weeks of school, like I think most schools in the city do. We are a very small school, so it's not too much of a transition because most teachers know the students that are coming to them just from the previous years of passing in the hall. Okay. So we just kind of, everybody was so excited to get back right in the summer. And I mean, this is a good celebration. We've seen a lot of our students here today, and we're just ready to kick it off.
Yes. And from the medical perspective, I jumped straight back into it. I'm on it. Getting the kids ready so they can be in school, have good attendance, so they're not missing any learning.
Good.
So staying on top of that thing, and then being able to help my parents to get to wherever community resources, help-wise, they need to get their kids enrolled as quickly as possible, because that's what it's all about, is getting the child in school in a seat so they are there each and every day for the educational piece. For our strong staff that's worked diligently hard on their curriculums throughout the summer, and with small summer we do have school lets out, we're on and getting ready for the next year. So, but which is exciting, and it's exciting to see the outcome at the end of the year when we can pass our kids to the next school grade and on. So other than that,
nice.
Bass is on it.
No, that's got to be exciting. I mean, Aaron and I teach at the high school level, and by the end of the year, you're pretty close to your kids, and then they disappear for the summer. But that's got to be, tell us a little bit, how unique is that bond that you have so much contact with the kids and with the parents, and it's such a short break that you're right back in there with them.
Right.
I think that actually is something I struggle with a lot this year because you do have more time with them. Not only do you have that time, but we have intersessions. So during our intersessions, a lot of our kids still come to school. We use it as a time for remediation. So you do grow a really strong bond with them. But it's nice because, like you said, I'm sure you missed your kids over the summer, and we only have 5 weeks over the summer to really miss them, and then we get to see them right again, and it's like we never missed a beat. We all celebrate and go right back to it. So
Yeah, and not only is we like school, community, we look at bass more as a family net because we are all for one for all. We all striving to push for the same goals. As our great leadership under Monica Hendricks principal, this is Bass's year to shine, and we are doing just that.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's
Excellent.
awesome.
All right. Well, thank you both for coming.
Yeah. Thank
and
you.
we hope you have a great school year.
okay.
All right, we're back.
Yeah, back again, and perfectly timed, I think, on such a warm day. Being warm-blooded creatures, we're not cold-blooded, but with us, we have a special guest.
Jarrod Covington is here, and I'm going to go ahead and let him introduce himself and a little bit of what he does.
Hey, yeah, my name is Jarrod Covington. I teach 6th, 7th, and 8th graders at Dunbar Middle School.
Okay.
The class is herpetology, which is just reptiles and amphibians. We have a few leftover critters from some other things that were done there. We have a moray eel.
Oh, wow.
Yikes. She's big and she's pretty intimidating. We also have some saltwater fish as well. So-
Tell us a little bit, how did you come to this particular teaching gig, as it were?
That's a great question. So actually my degree is in environmental science. So I did science when I was in college, and I worked at PetSmart for 5 years while I was in college, and then a year or two after. And I also volunteered a lot at the Nature Zone. So I
Okay.
did a lot of work there when I was at PetSmart for a couple years. I worked with really closely with them. Really, really cool people there. And I actually applied at Dunbar for the math position.
Oh.
Math
then-
and reptiles seems
Math-
to go
right,
hand
right,
in
right,
hand.
Of course.
And I had applied for the herpetology position just thinking, like, that sounds weird. I like that. So I applied for it, and then I got in there, and I was talking to Dr. Brown. He probably picked up pretty quickly, this guy can't do math. So he was like, wonder if he knows any more about reptiles. So he started, asking me some questions about the herpetology position, and then eventually, he took me up to the lab, and that's when I just saw things, and I was like, this is absolutely incredible. It's absolutely incredible. At that point, I didn't want to be a math teacher. I was like, forget that.
Right. Yeah, this
once
is
I
much
saw
cooler.
what they had there and how cool the program was, I was just hooked. So I got very, very fortunate, very blessed to be in a position like this there.
And you said you have 30 animals there, and I am conveniently sitting several feet from you as I've
Yeah.
intelligently put Aaron between me and what appears to be a giant
Because
gecko
you knew that
lizard
this was
on your
gonna happen,
shoulder.
apparently.
Yes. Who exactly is on the shoulder there?
So yeah, we have 35 different animals, 29 different species. This is one of them. We actually have 2 bearded dragons there. This is Little Boat, which I'm sure was, I don't do the naming. I just, hold them. The kids get to name the critters.
Okay.
But, a rose by any other name.
Yes.
So anyway, he's pretty cool. He's actually darkened up quite a bit in the sun today, but we have 2 of these guys there, bearded dragons. They're absolutely just phenomenal pets. Phenomenal pets. Really gentle, love just hanging out. I mean, this is hour 3, 4. I mean, I've had to readjust a few times. You see they've got this other shirt underneath. That's not for claw protection. That's actually in case he decides to poop on me, which I'm really not okay with that.
That's
like
probably not in the lesson plan, is it?
Right, no. But cleaning up after them when they do that kind of thing, that's more likely than him biting me, is him pooping on me. So.
Right.
Now,
right.
what's the
I
biggest
imagine.
thing you run into is those I would imagine it's an entire new world when kids walk into your classroom, and we already have somebody interested right here. Have you ever seen a
Taking a
bearded dragon?
Did you get a
It's
chance
wild,
to pet him earlier?
Oh yeah, they were looking for
Okay.
So what is the biggest thing as kids walk into the room and encounter this zoo of 35
What kind of
animals?
reactions do you tend to get?
It's mixed. We get the "Ugh," and we also get the kids that we have to make sure that they know everything about all the animals before they just start grabbing stuff.
Right.
But it really is. It's like it seems that some people just as you would expect, some people are drawn to that kind of thing, and some people are a little bit more timid. So it's a mix, and I'd say it's probably like 80-20. I think 80% of the kids are really interested, and then 20% of the kids would rather not be there.
And this is a pretty special. We were talking earlier that this is a pretty unique thing, both in the, you were saying something about in the state as well as maybe beyond that.
Yeah. So before I actually started and I took the position, I started looking into some curriculum ideas. Everything is collegiate level. There's nothing for middle schoolers that's so specific as a science as herpetology is.
Right.
So without a doubt, the only thing that's offered at the middle school level in the state, and as far as I can tell, the country as well, unless there's some specialty school that I can't find, with the old Google machine that might have, there might be something out there. As far as I can tell, at the middle school level for our country, it just doesn't exist.
That's
Yeah,
cool.
I know.
That's
I
very
came across
cool.
an article years ago that talked about little kids love to learn dinosaur names because it was like an intelligence thing. It was so empowering. If you had to kind of sum it up at the end of a year, what do you feel like your kids get out of, what is an incredibly unique class?
They learn how to care for them. And I think a lot of them, that's what they need, because once they experience something like that, they of course want to bring it home. Like we have this fascination with putting nature in a bucket and just seeing what happens. We love that as people. So learning how to care for them is really important so they don't end up with unhealthy animals. So I think that is probably the takeaway, even though we cover lots of things. Nobody wants to know that the leopard tortoise is Stigmacelli's pardalis or whatever. They like it. Some of the kids really take that away. They're like, yay, Latin stuff. But a lot of them really just want to learn to care.
Well, that sounds
They can get their
amazing.
own
Jarrod,
animals.
thank you again for
Yeah,
joining
hey,
us.
so much
We
for
wish you a
coming.
fantastic
Thanks for
year.
having me.
That's awesome.
Yeah, have a good one, guys.
And we are back August 4th. This is a beautiful Saturday. It just can't get any better than this. And I think we've got some more guests.
We do. Fresh off last year's state championship game. Unfortunately, it didn't come out the way we wanted, but to get there, be one of the top 2 teams in the entire state. We have 3 of the Heritage High School football players with us. Guys, you want to go ahead and introduce yourselves?
I'm KJ Vaughn. I play running back, and I'm a defensive tackle.
Chris Megason. I play DB and receiver.
Monte Pinnell, middle linebacker and offensive guard.
You got that good deep voice for a middle linebacker. I would have
Yes.
guessed. I didn't think kicker. I thought middle linebacker. Being a former soccer player, not a bad thing. So how excited are you guys about the new season?
Oh, very excited.
Very excited.
What do you think the big strengths of are the team this year? Did you and we'll stay with that. What do you think the big strengths are this year?
I feel like our offense and our defense is gonna come together and play for each other.
I think it's gonna be more combined. We're gonna be playing with more intensity this year. Because people feel like since we lost a lot of seniors, a lot of key players, that we're not gonna be as good as we were. So we got proved that we're the same and even better than last year.
You feel like the team's accepted that challenge? Kind of that you
yeah.
think we're not in it this year and we're going to be right back there again?
Right
Yes,
there.
sir. Most definitely.
Now, last year was a phenomenal year for you guys. Can you tell us a little bit about how you felt as that year was going along? Were there moments that you got really excited that you thought, wow, this is really big?
Well, for my first year coming to Heritage, I came from Nelson County, and our team really couldn't do anything. And the first time me going to states I really felt like I'm a part of something big, and I can stay a part of something big. And they accepted me as soon as I stepped on the field. And they accepted me, and I started playing varsity.
For me, making it to the 3rd round for my sophomore year, making it to the 3rd round of the playoffs, and then to make it a step further to all the way to states for my junior year was a big step. And looking for my senior year, definitely to make it there again. So.
And for me to have started in the middle of my freshman year and to hold that spot and to see the team grow and all the bumps we've been through, it was kind of relieving to see that we could make it that far. But then it was also sad to see that we didn't come out with what we had worked so hard for.
No, and I think that's sometimes tough. You got to realize that you guys did have a tremendous year, and it's tough to kind of let that go a little bit. Now, the rest of your classmates are still at the pool or still working jobs, and you guys have already been out in the sun.
Yeah.
How's the coaching staff in terms of working with you guys and doing all that?
Oh,
Great. Phenomenal.
Every day it's a new test. They test us mentally, physically every day.
Yeah.
They never let up.
Especially emotional. If you can't take it, get out the room.
Now you say that do you think that is just getting you mentally and emotionally prepared to go through a season?
Oh
I think for the next level too.
Yeah, also definitely if you're going to the college level, play on the next level, they definitely, prepare you for that mentally, physically, and everything. So we have definitely a great coaching staff for that, and also we just, we all have great bonds, with coach staff. They all are father figures to us and everything. So,
Yeah, that's got to be important. And Mr. Reid and I are academic teachers. Surprisingly, we're not football coaches. I know you're probably shocked when you
My
sat down.
stipend just doesn't say that.
Yeah, these are not football coaching shirts,
weird.
though they should be. How do you balance the academics and what is a demanding season for football with the weight room and the film study and everything else?
Well, we have study hall, and that really gets us really prepared for school and helps us finish our homework. So we won't have to go home and then worry about a whole bunch of homework and stuff. But he makes sure we have to get our grades first, and then we're a football player.
Every year before the summer ends and school begins, he always tells us, that last practice before school starts, that it's the grades first and then practice and then game. It's not the other way around.
No,
Nice.
that's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
So, as a program for this year, what's one big thing you guys would say you need to improve upon?
It's a tough one.
We need to improve on.
We improve.
What's your biggest challenge going to be this year as we wrap it up?
Biggest challenge.
Defending the Seminole District.
Yeah, definitely defend the Seminole District
Title.
title again. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit of a gauntlet, isn't it? But you know what? You guys seem to be in the right frame of mind. We wish you the best, and I'm sure you're going to have a
absolutely.
fantastic year. Even though we're over here at Glass, we still cheer for you guys.
do.
as you kept
Absolutely.
going. So,
You bet.
guys,
You bet.
thank you. We wish
Thank
you
you
the
so
best
much
on the
for being
season.
here.
Appreciate it. We have an amazing special guest with us today, who you and I have a place in our heart and
Absolutely.
and on our pay stub at one point. For. So, Aaron, who do we have with us?
Well, we have former EC Glass principal Susan Morrison, who is obviously on school board now, and we're so grateful for you to be here with us.
Thank you. It's my privilege to be here, and I'm very excited to see both of you again. We see each other frequently, but this is a fun time.
This is.
And we did kind of joke because Susan actually hired both Aaron and myself when she served as principal at EC Glass. So
That's right.
you talk about Lynchburg being such a community and everything, and how things
That's
come
right.
full circle, and
That's right.
and here we all are back again.
All back again.
And I'm on the school board because of a former teacher at EC Glass, Marie Waller, who, when they asked me would I consider going for it, I said, nah, I don't think so. Marie Waller looked at me and said, yes, you will. And you just don't say no to someone like Marie Waller. And so here I am, the school board, and this year serving as the chairman of the school board. And we are so excited about this school year, 18-19, right?
That's right.
And I'm so excited about this event. This is just a great way to start off the school year with a celebration of education and so many teachers and principals and people here working. I'm appreciative.
Well, and it's we were talking earlier, it's such a, going back to some of the days that we were here, and you think about 10 years ago and 20 years ago how different it is to start a year like this. Once upon a time it was, well, let's everybody drag our feet back in here and let's try to figure, but now we have this kind of celebratory thing.
Well, I think it's also an opportunity for parents to really connect with someone from the school. I had a parent ask me where do I get the supply list for Sandusky Middle, and I said, go right to that table. They will be able to tell you, how do I enroll my child? Well, come up here. We've got enrollment. So it's an opportunity for exchange, to put a face with a name.
Right.
Lots of teachers here that think, oh, well, this will be your third grade teacher this year, and that's not to just makes people feel welcome, and that's what we want this year to be. We want people involved in Lynchburg City Schools. We want parents involved, and we want our students to have the most success ever. And I think we're going to. We're excited about this.
So as a chair, what do you think what are some of the passions? We asked this to Beau, who's a former grad, as a city council member. What are some of your passions this year that you really want to work on?
Well, I can tell you from talking with other board members that we are very committed to looking at salaries for our employees. We've are very committed to looking at what do we do to meet the needs of all students in Lynchburg City Schools. We also this year, the board has decided that we really want to become legislative advocates, that there are a lot of things that are happening in the states that are mandated, that are not funded, and that we as a school need to take stands and to advocate with our legislators about things like that, and we think that's important. These are just general things that we've been talking about, but we are very open to ideas. I love hearing from people about, hey, would you think about doing this? And then we share it with the board, and but those are the 3 topics. They're not the only topics, there's a long list, but we've been thinking about, we know where we want to go with these.
No, and I think you all have the piece of, I mean, that's what I've kind of marveled at with Aaron a little bit. We joke about how many alumni are back here and the fact that, you know, you were once the principal in this building with us, and I just think it's fantastic that you all have so much experience in terms of it's not as if you're brand new. It's, you've been invested in this process for a long time.
Well, and I'm a product of Lynchburg City Schools. I went through the school system. What really, I also need to say that I was part of the hiring process for Dr. Edwards. And that was a real chance for the board to examine ourselves as we look for the right person to drive us forward, because we don't want to become better. We don't want to become a better school. We want to be the best. We don't want to win a game. We want to win the state championship. And that's what we're going to do. We're not going to sit back and say, oh, good, we made this, when we are going to make that. And so that's exciting because she has that grasp and that energy and that commitment, and she motivates us daily with something. Let me share this with you. And it's just, so I think we're on the verge of great things, and we've always done great things. We know that. We love our kids. We work extra hours. We do come in early. We come in late. We stay late. And I just think that people are going to see more of that as this energy expands. And we found the right person to lead this division, and I'm just excited to be part of it.
No, I think it's going to be a pretty amazing year. It's and events like this, and if you had to kind of put it out there, what would kind of be your message to the community going into this year?
Get on board, because we're taking off. And you probably remember one time I said, if you're not on the train, it's going to leave you behind. We don't want to. So everybody needs to get on board, and we're going to, and with us setting our goals for accomplishing great things, people are going to have to buy into it. The parents, the students, the educators, everyone who works for Lynchburg City Schools. Like I said, we want to be a championship school system, and we can do it. We've got the ability to do it, and that's what I need.
I'm ready for kids to come back, Aaron.
I am too.
Well, thank you so much for coming by and talking to us today. We really appreciate it.
Always a pleasure.
All right, we're back with you all, still streaming live here on Facebook. Hope you guys have enjoyed the day. And as we continue with all our guests, Aaron, we've got another guest, don't we?
We do. We've talked to a lot of people up here today. We talked to students, obviously, and school board members and city council members.
Football players who were much bigger than you and I.
Absolutely, and more important in some ways.
Yes.
But we want to talk to parents as well. And so we have with us today Peggy, who is an LCS parent. Thank you for being with us so much.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, and it's kind of become the tone of the day a little bit. You are an alumni of these schools, are you not?
I am, all the way through, from the beginning. I grew up here and graduated from this school, and went on to Duke University and met my husband there, and 15 years later we moved back here and have raised our family. They're all graduates of EC Glass as well. So.
We've been talking today about the theme of sort of people coming through the system, graduating, and then returning here in some form or another. So can you talk a little bit about what is it about Lynchburg City Schools that attracts you?
Sure. Well, when I was growing up, I distinctly remember many conversations around the dinner table where my parents would talk to us, the three of us, about the importance of public education to the quality of life in Lynchburg. And they wanted to support the public schools by sending us to, at that time, it was Paul Monroe, Lincoln, and EC Glass. And we all had great experiences doing that. And it was sort of the family ethos that was part of why Lynchburg's such a great community. We have good public schools.
Right.
And if we believe that, then we have to also live it.
Right.
And 15 years later, after I graduated from college, my husband and I moved back here, and we, embraced the same ethos. Our children went to the exact same schools and had fabulous experiences. They're very proud of their public school education. They got great academic training, I would say second to none. And they went on to good schools. Our daughter went to our alma mater, Duke, and our 2 sons went to Washington and Lee, and were very successful academically, and are very proud of having gone to public schools.
And we've talked about that here today as well, which is that the students who graduate from Lynchburg City go on to colleges and find out it's almost they have to leave to realize how well they were prepared. And I think that while they're here, it's hard for them. There's nobody to compare themselves to. And
You're
then
right.
they get to a college and they get a roommate and they realize, wow, I had all these experiences and I've done all these things that really have prepared me.
They might have not have had those esoteric courses that you can get in some other school, but they had the foundation to be successful academically in anything they chose to study. So, their confidence came right back as soon as they got there, because they realized they had been well trained.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
And I think the public schools offer so much, and Lynchburg City does. What did your kids do besides academics when they were here? Because I think that's one of the great things about Lynchburg City schools is that there's so many opportunities for kids outside of the classroom.
That is so true, and our kids were not superstars in those outside activities. We didn't have, the theater lead actor or the captain of a team, but they did all those things. They were in theater, they were in student government, we had tennis players, we had soccer players, we had cross country, we had swimmers. They were able to participate in so much.
Someone asked, how many children did you have? But that's kind of Lynchburg City schools. You get that opportunity to be involved in so many.
And you don't have to be the best in order to be on a lot of these teams.
Right.
So, and then they did community service. For example, our youngest son started the Big Brothers Big Sisters chapter for high school students called Big Buddies Little Buddies, and it pairs high school kids with elementary school kids. So it's through the Big Brothers Big Sisters program. It's still going on.
Okay.
Now, your children have graduated from here, and we were talking a little bit about your shirt. As a parent, you're kind of getting back involved at a time when a lot of people would say, your kids are gone, why are you getting back involved? So tell us a little bit about your shirt.
Well, I would love to lure them back to Lynchburg, and I would love for the public schools to stay strong and be the schools they remember. And this group, Embrace Our Schools, has formed in the last year, kind of organically. It's a group of parents who, like my husband and I, want to support the public schools and support the staff and the teachers, and encourage prospective families to send their kids to public schools. So we're matching up prospective parents with current parents, answering questions and trying to sort of spread the word in support of what they're already doing, to do that through the administration downtown. They're doing a great job.
And this is open to everyone in the community. How would they get a hold of your group?
They can get in touch with me, and I can get them on. We have a mailing list, an email list.
Okay.
And they could go through the school board. They're supporting us.
So embrace our schools. If parents out there, you all want to get involved, it's a great way to connect. And even if your kids have gone on and graduated, your kids are still involved, or you're looking at these choices now we have in education to reach out to like-minded parents a little bit. But we appreciate you coming by and wish you the best year. So thank you very much.
It's been a great day. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Huge success.
Thank you so much.
All right, welcome back. Once again, it is a beautiful Saturday here at our back-to-school celebration. And Darren, I think we've got some more guests, don't we?
Yeah, despite the fact that you and I are in peak physical condition and really, this heat doesn't bother us, we needed someone to come by and just spur us on and make it through the rest of the day. So we are super excited to have 3 members of the EC Glass cheer team. Girls, if you'll introduce yourselves.
I'm Maya.
I'm Sammy.
And I'm Brooklyn.
Now, you guys have been in training for a while already, right? How long have you been working out so far?
About 3 weeks.
Yeah, about 3 weeks.
Now, is that longer than the football team's been working out, I think?
I don't know. We should probably, we got to compare that. That's pretty long.
No, you know for a fact the football team has worked out longer.
Football's been going since like January, so.
Yeah, I don't know that ever stopped. So let me ask, so what is, How excited are you about cheer this year? I'm sure, like every year, you don't do the same. You're not doing the same cheers that they did back when I was in school, which was, part keep the Indians away from the field, as well as because I've been here that long. What are some new things that you guys are excited about this year?
New uniforms.
New uniforms, always fun.
Really stunting. I like stunting. I'm excited.
Stunting is when you throw the girls up in the air and.
Thank you, because most of us,
Wow.
Aaron, there was a look of glaze over your face. Stunting. What? It's like a threat. Now, and some people, and I'm glad that you brought that up, because some people say cheerleading isn't really a sport. But then when you start to throw in the hours that you all put in and the stunting, answer that. When somebody says, is cheerleading really a sport? Are we really athletes? What would you say to those people?
I personally consider it a sport. I know some people don't, but
We do a lot more than people think we do.
Yeah. Like, they think we just stomp and clap, but it's,
In terms of the hours and the physical.
We've been in the weight room once so far. I'm probably going to do it more often.
Now, how did each of you come to cheerleading? How did you know back when you were in middle school, or did you kind of discover it in high school, or how did you come to this?
I've been cheering since middle school.
I cheered my 8th grade year in middle school, and I just wanted to keep going, so came here, tried out.
I started cheering in high school. My older sister was a cheerleader, so that's how I kind of got into it.
Okay, so you kind of heard about it when you were younger.
Now the stunting that you all are doing, what are some of the toughest stunts that you all will do this year?
We haven't really started yet. We start next week. We did a little bit today, but it was just basic stuff. So the most complicated thing is probably basket tosses and stuff.
No, and I would imagine just like football and soccer and everything else, it's kind of a building block, and you have to start with the basics and just getting back into the swing of things before you push yourselves into stunting. Now, are you ready for the first game?
Well, we still have a week of practice.
Still got a week
after this week.
A little bit of time there.
Yeah.
Now, we asked this of Heritage Football. How tough is it to balance what is a pretty demanding athletic schedule that you all have with academics as the school year is about to start?
Well, our practice schedule during the summer is busy, but during school we only have practice like once a week since we pretty much know all the cheers and stuff, and then Friday nights.
Okay, so not too bad. You excited for everybody to come back to school?
Yeah.
Ready. Let's get back.
Get back in the swing of things.
Now, how big is the cheer squad this year?
I think it's 16 on varsity and
11 on JV.
Yeah.
Okay, so good numbers.
All
But
right.
we wish you all the best. I know
Yep.
that you're working hard. I'm sure it's nice to be in the shade of the tent a little
Yeah.
bit. And I know everybody out there is going to be excited to see you at the game. So good luck to you all.
Good luck.
Have a great year.
Have a great year.
All right, and welcome back. Here we are. We have some brand new guests with us, Aaron, and I know that you and I, as teachers here at East of Glass, we're pretty excited about this group. So who do we have?
Well, this is Glass Theater that we have here, and Shelby and Claire and Marina, who are all seniors this year. So tell us a little bit about how excited you are for the upcoming season and anything special that's kind of going on.
Well, we were really excited for this season because we're starting off really fast with Dracula, which is going to be super scary and super fun, and that's in October. And then we've got VTA, and we've got a bunch of fun stuff in the spring.
Our fun stuff in the spring includes getting a new director, Allison Doggetry, which is just really exciting. And our big musical is Alice in Wonderland, which we're all so excited for.
Generally, I think I'm super excited because it's going to be a year full with variety, to be honest. We're going to have some really intense, dark shows. We're going to have some really upbeat, kind of funny shows. So it's going to test our acting limits, if you will.
Nice.
Yeah, so let me ask. Being an alumni of Glass Theater years and years and years and years ago, when there was no roof on the building at that point, it was really all open theater. Your seniors, what has theater done for you in the 4 years? Like, how has it impacted you? And I know that's a giant question.
Please frame your response as an essay.
Just the biggest thing you're going to walk away from. Theater gave me the ability to...
Theater made me even more outgoing than I was originally. Around school, I'm known for my Spirit Week ensemble. I am the queen of Spirit Week, so to say, and I'm not scared to do that. I'm fine to go out into the school building with my fuzzy leg warmers and all of my EC Glass attire, and if I wasn't used to being in costume, I probably wouldn't be as crazy and outrageous as I am.
I'd say, if anything, theater has given me courage. Like, I feel like I've always been outgoing, and I've always, like, wanted to step up to the plate for, like, leadership positions, but theater does something crazy that it, like, lifts you up as a family, and it unifies you with your other students, and you really get to, like, understand that other people are going through the same exact things that you are, because high school is crazy. And I just feel, like, full of, like, courage and, like, bravery to do what I need to do.
I definitely feel, I mean, obviously there's a huge emotional side of it, of making those connections and making those friends, but even if you take that away, I feel like theater has just really taught me amazing time management. I mean, figuring out how to schedule my time, how to be independent, how to know no one's gonna tell me what I need to do, no one's gonna make sure that I do it, I just need to make sure everything gets done, and that I still learn my lines on top of everything else. Like, no, you know, it kind of takes away those baby steps, so I think, yeah, that's a big thing.
You know, one of our running questions today, we were talking to the Heritage football team earlier, and of course the Glass Cheerleaders. How do you all balance what is a obviously theater demands of your time in a very large way? How do you balance that with the kind of academic rigor that you guys have here and at the schools you attend?
I'd like to say that it's because I'm super awesome, but
That's a humble answer. That was good.
but in reality, I really think it's the faculty and staff, because, I mean, my English teacher, like, he's always so, like...
Are we having a moment right now? I
I'm
think
not
you
sure.
are her English teacher.
I'm not sure. Well, not anymore, but...
Oh, well.
I don't know. I just feel like the faculty is always lifting us up and really being understanding that we have 7 classes, we have all kinds of extracurriculars and a lot of stuff going on, so that helps a lot.
I mean, I think, yeah, sometimes there are sacrifices that you need to make. Sometimes the sacrifices are sleep. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's hard. It's difficult. A lot, yeah. But I really, yeah, like Claire said, people being understanding about your schedule and your time, and understanding, and like, I mean, directors understanding when it's time to give you a break, teachers understanding when it's time to give you a break, that helps a lot. And yeah, just organizing your own time and using your friends as a great resource. Like, using the people you meet in acting to create study groups to kind of get together and be like, okay, we need to get this done, and your friends kind of motivate you too.
So besides Mr. Reid being the wind beneath your wings, which is what I've heard, what is, as
sure
we
about
wrap
that.
this up, you are the wind beneath my wings.
Oh, whoa.
Whole different
I
interview.
appreciate that.
What is one thing, as we wrap this up, that you would say to those incoming freshmen who
Yes.
maybe have never done theater before?
Just try it. It might be something that you never would have thought that you would have enjoyed, but you'll have a great, like, family of friends out of it, and why wouldn't you want that for yourself?
No, that's great, and,
All
and
right.
we wish you all the best on the season, and look
Yes.
forward to the shows. You all have a
Thank
great
you so much for
senior
coming
year.
by. Appreciate it. And we're back. We are finishing up our day here at our back to school LCS celebration. We've got a few minutes left here, and Darren, I think we've got a couple more people to talk to.
We do, and as you typically do, you want to end on a high note, and you want to send them out with your very best guess. Not that the others were not exceptional. So we have saved, I think, the best for last. So ladies, if you will introduce yourselves to the audience.
Sure. I am Crystal Edwards, Superintendent.
I am Ethel Reeves, Director of Engagement, Equity, and Opportunity.
Now, Ethel, this has got to be a pretty amazing event for you. I know that you were really involved in the planning. Tell us a little bit about the idea behind today, and kind of what we were doing here today in a great sense. I mean, you know the ins and outs much more than we do.
It's all about family and community engagement. We recognize that in our division that we cannot do it alone. Our children are more than who show up at our classrooms on a daily basis. The community is involved, families are involved, family is redefined. It's not just mom and dad anymore, it's an auntie, it's a grandma. So we want to make sure that we're opening our doors and making people feel comfortable to come in and to be a part of what we're doing with their students.
Do you feel like that's what you've seen here today in terms of families showing up and just kind of generally having a good time, it seems?
Yes, that's it. Having a good time, understanding. So it's about building relationships. And this is an opportunity to build relationships before we even get into the school. So I saw you at EC Glass for the back to school event, or that child saying, that's the school that I'm going to, and I see the eagle or I see the lion, and I'm now a part of something. So that's what it's all about, and that's what I've seen today.
Now yourself in your position, what if you had to name like maybe one focus that you have for this year, what would it be? I know it's 8 billion things, but you're going to narrow it down to just one.
We're only allowed one.
Only one.
I need the Jeopardy music.
In the version of a song as well. No, answer any way you'd like.
My one goal is to really change any negative perceptions that we have regarding Lynchburg City Schools. And I say negative loosely. It's just that I think we can do a better job of communicating the great things that we do. And that's the role that I'm focusing on.
That's a good answer, I think.
You know, that dovetails real nicely with we had a parent up here not too long ago, and I think the same kind of comment was made, which is to make sure that people know not just the great things that we do, but also how school functions, because I think that there can be sometimes a misperception out there, and that's really important.
And now we have our newest faculty member, Dr. Edwards, and we have a list of questions. It'll only take 20-25 minutes.
Sure.
Just kidding. But you know, I think we are like all of Lynchburg. We're excited to get to know you and kind of what your impression it has been to come to Lynchburg from Northern Virginia. Not Northern Virginia, as my brain is all over the place, but what's been your biggest impression coming in?
I have been wonderfully surprised and pleased with the amount of community support here. It's everywhere. The people are so friendly. The staff is amazing in what they do to just go above and beyond for our kids. And even today, you know, this is my first one. I had no idea what I was going to experience.
But you had a cape, apparently.
I had a cape. I had a cape, and it was in the bag just in case it might not work out that way. And within 5 seconds of being here, I'm like, cape on, because this is a place of family and just fun and engagement and a bunch of people who want to do the right thing for kids. So I am happy that I'm here. Best move I've ever made.
We're excited to hear that.
Now, yeah, because as Aaron and I are coming back and we're about to start off, and you've been here for a while now. Like, and as I ask Ethel, what's kind of, and it's tough to walk in because there's probably 8 billion things that you look at and you're trying to get a handle on. What's probably the biggest focus for you in year one?
Well, I actually have one word. So my one word is reinvest. And that has been my philosophy in terms of reinvesting in our kids, our faculty, our facilities. Our children are worth it, and they are worth the investment, and not just a one-time investment, but a constant reinvestment in my awesome staff like you guys. How do I make this place a place where you can't wait to come back to work and you're not sitting here saying, oh, thank goodness it's Friday. You're really coming to work going, it's Monday, and I get to see my kids. So that's really been my focus to create and work through with Ethel here at my side. Having activities like this where everybody comes together and they see the wonderful things that we've been able to do. So.
Well, I know there's a lot of excitement in obviously the community, as you mentioned, and certainly among teachers and students, and I think we're looking at a great year.
Awesome. I am absolutely excited and just can't wait for convocation because we're going to bring our A game to that too.
Yeah, so teachers, gosh, new teachers have already reported.
Yes.
We've gotten to meet all them. Yeah, I think. I get so old, I forget everything. Then we come back Wednesday.
Right, correct.
In our attractive shirts, probably. And then we have some big dates. We have registration is August 9th.
Right. And then our first day is August 15th.
First official school day is August 15th. It's the most exciting day for the parents, I think, and maybe in some ways not quite as exciting for the children, but they'll figure it out pretty quick. And really, the big thing I think with this kind of stuff is both of you said how much you want to reach out to community, and really you can find EC Glass and Lynchburg City Schools and everything. Where are places parents can look and find information?
Well, there's a lot of information that's on our website. They can certainly go there. We are on Twitter and Facebook. We have our new hashtag on Twitter, ReinvestLCS, which we'll see a lot of photos from today and the past couple weeks of things that we have been doing to match our theme. They can always call us, visit us. We welcome the engagement in our schools.
So Reinvest LCS. So can I get that on MySpace? Because that's what I still have.
You would still have
And I have VHS tapes.
no
I have an
idea.
incredible collection of
And you
VHS
dial into
as well.
AOL too, don't you?
And
I'm
I have
sure.
AOL and I have
no
a disc
doubt.
and it has a certain amount of minutes.
Okay.
We are so excited that
Thank
you
you
all
so
came
much,
and visited
yes.
us, and we're looking forward to a great year and to reinvest with the community and everything else. So thank you all again.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.